if you have a system that does not work, like a company, like China, it doesn't work. The structure does not work. You sit down, dialogue, and look at the structure. And look at it and say, how do we go around with this? Let us sit down and talk about it.
So we really need to sit down and talk?
Yeah, it's something that is inevitable.
What about 2014 confab?
No. That's what I'm saying. They've discussed it before. Maybe we're talking about the implementation now. Since it has been discussed, let us look whether is 36 states viable? Is 50 viable? What is viable? Where are we going to look? Well, let's look. For me, it is all about looking at the future of the country, the viability of our operations and everything. If I look at restructuring, the first thing that comes to my mind is, yes, we must restructure because we want to look at the cost of governance because the cost is unacceptable. So, America, with 18 trillion economy, has 50 states. Of these 50 states, one state, California, has a 39 million population. The size of California is about 50% the size of Nigeria. In terms of size, they have their GDP is 2.6 trillion, which is 6 times our GDP. California alone. New York has about, say, 1/6 of our land size. The GDP of New York is 1.5 trillion, which is like about 4 times our GDP. And then you have all this, and I can tell you the cost of running the office of governor of California is less than the cost of running the office of governor.
So the states are not viable.
No, you can it's clear. We don't need to be told this thing. China with the 11 trillion economy have 33 states. And then you have all this things. I'm not saying shrink all this, but if we look at it, let's look at the size of the economy. Look at everything, and then states can be created. After Indonesia, in the past few years, they've created some states. Let's do things in an organized manner. What it is that
would you suggest? Would you subscribe to a regional government? Like some people have suggested that we need to go back to regional government before the 1966 coup. We were before
we might not go back there. I don't entirely agree we'll go back there. We don't have citizenship. Before it was 4 or 3. Now we're not going to go back there. We might look at it and say this 6 or this might be more viable or this can help us to reduce. For me, it will help to reduce cost.
If we break down the present structure.
Yeah, completely. It will help to look at you. Let me go further to tell you.
Please permit me to start this video by singing this song. Onu awubulo giliaso gemecha kolo gililacha. Onu awubulo giliaso gemecha kolo gililacha. Don't mind me, I'm not good at singing. But of course, some of my Igbo brothers may understand the song. The message is very clear. The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone. You see this thing we have been shouting. You see this message that our leader has been passing, has been clamoring for since. And they called him a tout. They call him somebody that is just trying to do something to be noticed. They call him a criminal. They call him all sort of names. That the same message today is what they are saying is the best solution. I know when Mazen Nanikano started, you know, especially when he was popular or when, you know, his first arrest, you know, made him more popular. And some of Igbo leaders and some Igbo elders came out and say, we don't want that. Nigeria is good. Leave us. Nigeria is good. Now, Mazen Nanikano is in detention. And those people are the people now calling for neither restructuring or division. Isn't that wonderful? Is God not wonderful? Now, I'm going to read out for you what Nyanwodo, the former president of Ohaneze Ndigbo, what he said in Abuja a couple of days ago. I'm going to read it out for you so that you will see that what God cannot do does not exist. Listen to this. It says, breaking, We are now ready for breakup if ex-Ohaneze President Modo wants Tinubu. The news in details, it says, Nigeria may face breakup before 2027 general elections if sweeping constitutional reforms are not implemented. Former Minister of Information and ex-President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo, Chief John Nwodo, has warned. Speaking at the launch of two books authored by veteran journalist Ike Aboni in Abuja, Nwodo criticized Nigerians' current system of government, describing it as a unitary constitutional disguised as federalism. According to Nwodo, the country's survival depends on restructuring its power structure to give regions greater autonomy over their resources and internal governance. Let each region manage its resources and development while contributing taxes to fund essential federal responsibilities like external defense, foreign affairs, customs, and immigration, he proposed. Nwodo warned that if these changes are not made before the 2027 elections, the nation might not survive political impact. If we head into 2027 without addressing these structural imbalances, there may be no election and worse still, no country, he cautioned. He highlighted the country's deteriorating economic conditions, citing poor infrastructure, youth unemployment, and low life expectancy as signs of systematic failure. We are bleeding millions annually due to poor infrastructure. Life expectancy is low, one of the lowest globally. Our youth are unemployed and frustrated. Something must give up, he said. To tackle unemployment and revive the economy, Nwodo advocated for bold reforms in education, digital skills development, and agriculture. The future lies in education that meets today's realities. Every Nigerian child should be digital literate. We must return to agriculture and vocational training, he urged. The event was attended by political leaders, academics, and civil society representatives, many of whom echoed Nwodo's message, calling for urgent restructuring as the only viable path to national stability and growth. So you had it. Nwodo is now calling for what? For restructuring. Well, according to this, he said actually two things, constitutional reform and restructuring. But I think basically he talked about, restructuring, saying that restructuring is the only way forward. Otherwise, a 2027 general election may not hold, or even if it holds, it might not bring any impact the country. Hey, what a country. What a country. Anyways, it is good that it is coming out from the mouth. And, I used to tell you that who knows that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's detention might be also one of the will of God, so that all this will manifest. Yes, so that those that speak or that have spoken against him will begin to speak for him. And then by the time he comes out, they will be in line with him. Who knows? That might be the plan or the will of God. Anyway, I'm now going to allow you to watch this video that they made, the analysis they made. But then, for me, I have said it and I'm saying it again. I do not believe in restructuring. I do not have anything to do or even want to talk about constitutional reform. 1999 constitution, as amended, though, that thing is just a cage. I don't believe in that. I don't want that. What I want is what? Total division. Oh yes, I have said it and I'm saying it again. Total division, that is what we want. You watching this, I don't know what you want. Do you want restructuring or do you want division? Drop your comment on the comment section, whichever one you want, right? But for now, I'm going to allow you to watch this video, the analysis they made, and then after watching it, do well to drop your comment on the comment section what you think about this. Remember, if this is your first time coming across my channel, please do well to subscribe, all right? But for now, let me allow you to enjoy this analysis they made about this. Please watch this.
This is very simple. At a point in time in Nigeria, Nigeria had money, unlimited money in the 70s. On that basis, the leaders just broke Nigeria down into bits and bits and bits and bits because everybody wants to be a governor, everybody to be a chairman, local government. And we now, where we have 36 states, 74 local governments. At this point, we are now insolvent. There is no money to maintain the bureaucracy again. That's the real issue. Because this government has just borrowed about $4.5 billion and they want to borrow more. So who is going to pay all these debts? And it's just to finance the bureaucracy of Nigeria. We have to reaggregate what we have disaggregated now, if we are really serious, unless we are living in fool's paradise. That's the first thesis. The second thesis is that, look, this country is very vast. We just have, the people in the Northeast, they are not people in the Southwest. The people in the Northwest, they are different from people in the Southeast and South-South. The terrain is different. So we belong to broad regions that have different characteristics. Culture, even the terrain. A kilometer of road in Northeast is not the same thing as a kilometer of road in the South-South. So why are we not facing reality of the way we are? That we are just different. And yet we can be in diversity and still be a good country. But running us in one command and control system in Abuja, it has not worked and it's not working. The third thesis is that in a federation, there are always two tiers. Nigeria cannot be an exception. Federal tier and then the regional tier. In Nigeria, the states now don't have their own character. They have no constitution. They don't know who they are. Whereas we're supposed to have a federal constitution and then have regional constitutions. Even if you are serious, if you use the term states, states in other countries also have their own constitutions. We don't have it now. So we need to cure that defect of having a federal constitution, very slim, and then each sub-nationality should have his own constitution.
A bit sensitive, but let me ask two quick questions to assuage the fears and anxieties of someone who is already saying, oh, look at these two Yoruba people, want to dismember this country. Prof, up front, are you seeking to dismember Nigeria from the area? Quick answer, so that I would like to continue.
There are examples in the world. Yes. Canada all Nigerians are running to Canada.
Okay.
Canada is even maybe 20 times Nigerian size.
Absolutely, in terms of land.
But they have 10 provinces. Each province is on its own, and they are still Canadians. They have the same flag. Even Quebec speaks French. They don't speak English totally. And they are allowed to speak their French. It's not a threat to the English area.
Yeah.
Alberta is another province. They have oil. They don't share their oil with other provinces. They pay federal tax, but oil belongs to Alberta people. So it's just a rainbow.
We were doing that in Nigeria before anyway. It was the military that messed up everything.
If you have, there are going to be schedule of functions. Federal system will have its own functions. The region will have their own function, and they will make laws and they make constitutions based on that. One thing that my approach will cure is take even a state now. Everything by convention. Whereas each region can have a constitution where it says, how do you rotate power, even in the regions. It's now left as convention. And anybody can say, no, it's our turn. Look at what's happening in Edo State now. Will the governor go to Edo Central or Edo North or Edo South? It's left to congestion. But if they had a constitution where they had negotiated how Edo State, the former Bendel,
it has become a law.
It has become a law and they all understood it. Then there's no question somebody coming on and say, oh, it's our turn in the North, in the Edo North, it's our turn, and then you start using all manner of, in fact, this is what opens the ethnicization of all politics. If you already knew when your turn is, you'll be grooming yourself to say, in 2027, it is South, and everybody will look in the South, Midwest to say, let's get the best out of Midwest, because we now know constitutionally in that area is their turn.
Part of it I find quite interesting is the new is the map, the new proposed map of Nigeria. Can you speak? I see 8 regions.
Yeah.
What informed these 8 regions? What informed these new 8 regions, Doc?
It's not my creation.
Okay.
There's a new body that have been meeting for the last 1 year.
Is it official or is just an
It's,
informal?
it's a social-political
Oh,
body.
okay, okay.
Coalition of indigenous ethnic nationalities.
Comprised of
all possible, at least about 24 ethnic nationalities are represented.
Wow. Okay.
Our chairman is Professor Okaba, is the president of Ijo.
Professor
Okaba.
Okaba, okay.
And Timothy Gando is from Southern Sokapu.
Okay.
I'm representing Southwest, like that.
Okay.
So we gave thought.
What of the North, East, Northwest, and
they're all there.
Okay.
They're all there. We gave thought to the way things are presently. There is so much injustice in the system. It is known that the opens of Kogi do not belong to North Central. It is known that this Zulu area of Kebbi State do not belong to the Northwest. It's known Southern Kaduna, of course, does not belong to Northwest either. Southern Yobe, Southern Bauchi, Southern Borno, Gombe. It's known, but they are just mixed together where they will have no voice, where they will have no rights. Let's face the reality that these people belong to the Middle Belt. That's why they are.
Where there is homogeneity of traditional
Attitude,
culture,
everything.
you know, and
The
all of
jaws are spread into 5 states. There's no reason for it. It's a means of disenfranchising them so that they cannot.
They spread their population so thin.
They are so large, but there are minorities everywhere.
Exactly.
So we have to cure. Once we keep sitting over this injustice, we will never have peace, no matter what happens. So let's face the reality.
So mention each of these. I can see. I mean, it's
so in the region now. First of all, nomenclature is very wrong. Nothing like South.
Okay.
So now we corrected the nomenclature. There is Northeast, there is Northwest, there is East Middle Belt, West Middle Belt.
Okay.
And whether we like it or not, East Middle Belt is essentially mainly Christian area. Benue, Plateau, Taraba, Adamawa, majority. In the western part,
Western
Niger, Middle Belt, Niger, Southern Kebbi, north of Kogi, is essentially also flavored Muslim. It's just a fact. We can't change the way we are. So then those ones belong to 2 regions in effect. The Western region is known to be desirous of having its own region. The South, the same. The Southeast, the same. Across this area, there's parts of Benue that we feel they are part of the Southeast. There are parts of maybe rivers, people feel they are Southeast. The map is not set in granite. It's not set that it cannot be changed.
Absolutely.
The map is for discussion. There'll be 1 year-long program for people to decide where they want to belong on either divide. It's not that say I'm a military general that have decreed. I just announced on NTA that this is what should be. No. But it's a thoughtful outcome of what we have done.
A result of deliberations.
But then people are free to move to one side or the other side. The freedom is there. So each region will bring 20 representatives to the National Assembly, 160. That 160...
Bicameral or unicameral National Assembly?
One cameral.
One assembly.
That 160, among themselves, there should be no people of goodwill that can serve as prime minister.
How is this prime minister?
It will be elected by the first 1 week or 2, 3, 4 weeks of assembly. You exchange CVs of who is good and all that, and you decide on who will be first among equals, not superior, not the executive president. And he himself will now nominate members of that assembly also as ministers. So they all have elected credentials from home. And they are now serving in the executive.
But we cure this defect or this current problem of we have 47 or 48 ministers, then we have 360 members of the National Assembly.
all ministers will be in the assembly. There's question, you can be questioned every day. Even Prime Minister.
Prime Minister's question and answer day, one day a week.
Every day. So not that you invite president and say he doesn't want to come. No, he's a member
because
of
he's
the
bigger than
parliament.
everybody, he's a monarch.
And the solution I've proposed also is that all members of parliament must be remunerated by their regions. There's no money for them in Abuja. Each is like you are a delegate to United Nations in New York.
Wow.
So each of your region will pay your salary, they will pay your emoluments, whatever. So there will be diversity. Because each region can pay whatever they want. So that again means you actually have a linkage with your region. Not that
it's actually easy for the region to recall you. They can control you and say you are now serving, so we
Once the legislature make a resolution 2/3 in that region to say, Mr. X, you are not having an interest in Abuja,
come back.
They withdraw you and they replace you. And nobody has right to question that. Each region will be autonomous to decide on who represent them. So that alone cures
so many things. But before I forget my train of thought, Doc, what happens to local governments or the current states? Because if we now say we have 8 regions, so we're talking about a region now. What happens? How is administration in the regions?
And if
Doc, do this quickly so that we can
in the regions now, regions are liberal to do whatever they want.
Okay.
But initially, the boundaries of the states will be retained for the fact that we already know Oyo, Ogundo. But then we'll downside the administration. It will not, instead of executive governors, we are going to have provincial administrators. It will be a model maybe after FCDA, Federal Capital Development Authority. Is to be technical body to run the provinces, not to have another set of assembly members. No, it will be technical person that will be running provinces for development, not
purely for development,
not for politics, not for politics at all. If you create provinces, you create divisions, you create districts, but overall, it will be based on your own revenue. There is no money coming from anywhere. So some province might decide to have one administrator province and maybe 3 others supporting. Other one might say 5. It depends. So, and you might have a provincial administrator in charge of mining, you might have in charge of agriculture, in charge of IT. So there will be no those who have commissioners.
Because actually, what you're saying now just made me realize that's actually what's happening in the FCT. That's the system in the FCT.
Yeah,
that's the template in the FCT.
That's what we adopt nationally. So it's not going to be executive government anymore. We have only one premier in each region. Only one. So there'll be 8 premiers.
That's the only one who is elected.
It's only one who is elected.
So every other sort of structure or administrative is just administrative. Purely administrative and public service.
Public service. And with unified salary scale.
Geared essentially towards development, service delivery.
Salary scale the same. There's no special salary for anybody.
Salary scale peculiar to each
area.
Region, based on their capacity, whatever they decide and all of that.
Because they're depending on taxes.
Absolutely.
The people are
revenue they're able to generate plus taxes they're able to collect from the people.
That's it. And they pay only sufficient to federal
taxes to the federal government to maintain the police, the security.
So federal government will say
the next thing he should do, tell him if you know him, is to restructure this country. Nigeria is a fraud. One particular tribe repressing the whole of us. Did you hear what central bank governor wants to do? Just a department, the operation department of central bank, to be moved back to Lagos, where you have 99% of the headquarters of bank. The north is agitated. Don't take Abuja back to Lagos. They don't care. If you all become beggars, it's okay for their oligarchic mentality. I talk like no other pastor talk. I talk like no other pastor talk. Because I have seen into governance, I have seen into the church. And I know where the problem is in this country. Are you hearing me? They may not like what I'm saying, but they cannot dispute the truth. This country cannot go on like this. Okay, I was talking about those who migrated. I don't blame those that want to japa. You know, initially I was saying don't japa. Do you hear me say that again? Japa if you want to japa. Because you look at the country and say, what future? If it goes on like this, what future? If it goes on like this, civil war is imminent. If it goes on like this, military intervention is imminent. Do we want to go back to that? No. Something must happen. I have always believed that something must happen. Do you see the way we pray in this church? Make Nigeria one. We don't pray. Nigeria is not one, and it can never be one.
We are different nations tied together by force. We should still be one country, but let everyone govern himself the way he likes. Are you hearing me? Let the Niger Delta have their oil. Let the East have their resources. Let the Yoruba people have their resources. Let the North have their resources. Let them manage their security. Give them state police. Let everybody guard his borders. Let everybody generate his economy.
All right. What do you think about this? Anyway, drop your comment on the comment section what you think, all right? I'm going to see you in my next video. Thank you very much, and may God continue to bless you.